We have a 138 in progress. Take this out! Take this out! Take this out!
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy, Natsu, and this is my main man,
DNAG. What's up? ReaperApparelCode.com. Use DNAG24 as code. Get 10% off. Check it out.
and also be sure to use code Natsu712 for 10% off any purchase over at W Energy. And yeah, so let's get into the topic. Today we're going to be covering our predictions and opinions of the WWE Elimination Chamber pay-per-view, which by the time this is uploaded, it's probably the day of. Just depending. We did run into some technical difficulties. So that's why the camera is a lot better and everything else just seems a lot better. But just to put it out there, we wasted 40 minutes.
Yeah, just to put it in there, it might be a little bit of different. I don't know if the audio is going to sound good or not. We'll see. Yeah, we ran into a little issues with the laptop we were using, but
yeah,
we got things going now. We'll see what happens. But without further ado, let's get into this. So first match we have starting off is Edge and Beth Phoenix versus Finn Balor and Rhea Ripley. Drew, what do you think?
Well, I think it'd be honestly stupid to have Edge and Beth Phoenix win. I know they're the babyface and everybody wants to see them win, including myself, but
Yep.
you just had Rhea Ripley put in immense amount of work in the Royal Rumble and win the Royal Rumble.
Yep.
Royal Rumble. That's a fucking tongue twister. Anyway, so my pick for that match is definitely going to have to be Judgment Day's Finn Balor and Rhea Ripley. Only because I don't see them slowing down that momentum with a loss.
I agree. I really do. As much as it would be nice to see, like you said, Edge and Beth Phoenix to win, it would really, really take away from the fact that the Judgment Day now have been built up to be this sort of group that always seems to come out on top regardless. Right. And especially with Rhea ended up winning the Royal Rumble, like you said, it really wouldn't make sense to just at a random pay-per-view have them lose.
Right.
And how do you incorporate that into their story that they'll, Edge and Beth Phoenix.
Just say the Glamazon.
But how would you fit that into a story of, all of a sudden Edge and Beth Phoenix come back and beat Finn Balor and Rhea Ripley when she has so much momentum and you're trying to build her character?
I mean, I don't know if they would, but I could see possibly the OC maybe coming in and interfering in some way, shape, or form.
Possibly, but I think they would have had to have been involved already had that happened.
But I mean, you never know. It's WWE. You never know what's going to happen. So, other than that, the second match on the match card looks like Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe this is the third match in their, I want to say franchise of matches, because, I mean, this has been a dream match between the two for years.
Yes, it has.
Both men have fought pro wrestling and UFC.
Yep.
I think Bobby Lashley went to UFC. Yeah, he did. Okay. I just had a memory of him beating up a door on Ultimate Fighter.
Okay.
Remember that.
They also both wrestled in high school.
Yep. And I think the only thing that they both haven't done is, I believe Brock was a college wrestler as well for a short period of time. And
Bobby Lashley was as well. He was in one of the military schools, I believe.
He
was in the Army.
Brock,
he wrestled for the Army,
yeah,
if I remember right.
And then I know Brock also, I don't know if he ever played like an official game with them, but I know he was a Minnesota Viking for a very short period of time.
Yep, he was. But when it comes to the match, I think Bobby Lashley does take this one because
he's still kind of got that chip on his shoulder from the second match at, I want to say it was SummerSlam, where, like you said, he went for that suplex and Brock just kind of landed on top of him, and it was 1, 2, and 3, and
yeah.
Brock won.
And especially with how many times they bring Lesnar back and he's gone for like weeks and weeks and weeks on end, you can't just let him come back and beat Bobby Lashley of all people, just out of nowhere.
And I think what's going to happen is at the end of this match, because I think Bobby's going to win this one.
Yep.
There's no doubt in my mind Bobby's going to win this one. I think it's going to be somewhat of like a passing of the torch between the two in a way. Because Bobby Lashley is pretty much another version of Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
And I feel like he could kind of carry that mantle of monster, or whatever you want to say, into the next generation for a bit.
Okay. At least for a little bit, but I know he's been wrestling for quite a while, too.
Oh,
so
yeah.
He's no spring chicken either,
No.
but as much as he looks that gigantic, didn't he used to wrestle in WCW?
I think it was
Back in the day?
ECW.
ECW.
Yep.
Back in the day. So that was...
Yep, I remember that. The good old SmackDown versus Raw, I think it was 2010 or 2011. I had it for PSP. There was ECW shows on like GM Mode or something like that.
Yeah. But the next one looks like it's the Elimination Chamber match for the United States Championship. Austin Theory, Seth Rollins, Johnny Gargano, Bronson Reed, Damian Priest, and Montez Ford in the Elimination Chamber.
So with that one, my pick for that one is obviously going to be Seth Rollins, Iowa. But
I agree. I think hopefully Seth Rollins wins it. I think they need to give him something more than being that guy that doesn't have a road to WrestleMania.
Right.
Especially, I think they're really doing both him and Becky Lynch dirty in that regard, because they're starting to do the same thing with her too this year.
Right.
Because she's been getting into matches with Damage Control, Bayley, and maybe they do a Bayley versus Becky Lynch match at WrestleMania. Who knows? But it looks like they're really going that route with both of them.
Yeah.
Which I feel like kind of does both of them dirty. Especially because Seth Rollins realistically has never even main evented WrestleMania on a match card.
Yeah, because
match card wise, not including not including the heist of the century. He's never officially been on the match card as the main event.
Right. And then
which it gets to the point where it's like you can only do that so many times before it starts to be like, well, they're just screwing him again.
Like they're not utilizing him in the way that a lot of other companies might.
And especially when it gets to the fact where, like, Seth Rollins now, his character and his gimmick, he can realistically do absolutely whatever he wants and nobody cares, and because they all watch him day in and day out, and they serenade him to the ring, singing his chorus, singing his song, every arena he goes, regardless of what he's doing, regardless of where he's at. They all serenade him to the ring, and they watch him because he's one of those generational talent wrestlers.
I mean, that's just like when he took on Roman for the Undisputed titles. He came out in the Shield gear. Oh, I loved it.
Exactly.
I loved it.
He's one of those guys where he can do this, and it doesn't make sense to me to not have him on the match card on WrestleMania. Because I don't think he was on WrestleMania last year. I don't think he ever fully got a way into WrestleMania.
I'm trying to think. I know there was...
Because he constantly went back and forth on, this is his last chance, this is his last chance.
Because he faced Cody Rhodes when Cody Rhodes was returning.
Oh, that's right.
So I was just remembering...
Yep. Mm-hmm. So, but still, you can't do that again.
Right. Like, that has to
You
be the
can't
last
do
time.
something like that. And for especially a caliber person like Cody Rhodes coming back, you've only got one shot to do that.
Yeah.
You can't do that again. I mean, you can, but it'd be like, oh, some surprise character's coming back. It's not it's not something realistically that they should do. But then again, Triple H is now the sole
kind of the
sole creator, or whatever you want to call it.
team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's head of it now, so I don't think that he does something like that to Seth Rollins.
I don't know. I mean, we saw all the work they did together when it was, the Authority and Best for Business and all that stuff.
Especially their Kingslayer gimmick. That was for Seth Rollins. That was good.
That promo for that WrestleMania lives in my mind rent free.
Oh yeah. But I really do. I feel like hopefully Seth Rollins will win it. But the way they've been building Austin Theory, I also could see it going his way and winning and continuing to build his character. But they really need to do something with Seth Rollins.
Right. Looks like there's also going to be Johnny Gargano, like I stated in the prior recording. I feel like Johnny Gargano is, like I said, getting that Christian effect. Like he's there, but they're not utilizing him. And he could be really fucking good if they utilized him correctly. But as of right now, he's just there.
Yep.
And I mean, he won the match. That's good. Build some momentum while they got you in the spotlight. But I don't see him pulling this one. Like, I mean,
no.
He might be maybe one of the first eliminated. I don't know. I
could see it being Bronson. I don't see Bronson Reed being one of those guys that goes towards the end.
No.
Because I think he's in NXT still, isn't he?
I'm not sure. Because I haven't seen him on main roster. Unless this is him, coming to the...
It could be, but I don't see it. So I think it honestly comes down to Bronson Reed getting eliminated in one of the top two.
Yep.
He comes in, does some good stuff, whatever. It's just one of those typical NXT showcases where it's like, oh, this is the younger talent.
Yep.
And he gets eliminated. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then I can see between the other ones, I can see, as much as I don't want to say it, I think Montez Ford goes next.
I was about to say, if he doesn't get eliminated, I could honestly see Montez kind of going, not winning, but kind of going to that final three, maybe.
But at the same time, they do that with him so many times where they showcase how good he can be.
Right.
And then they screw him over.
And it's just
that's where they read the Street Profits.
Right.
They really do them dirty so many times, especially now with the Bloodline. Now that they're possibly splitting the Bloodline up, it's gonna happen. Yeah. The Bloodline's gonna be over. As much as it's a very good storyline going right now, it's gonna happen. But so many times you get these tag teams that could be good, but they get screwed out of it every time because it's the Bloodline. They don't lose. So I would hope that he does. I could see him going far, but I can't see him winning the title because I don't think they separate the Street Profits out of nowhere.
But at least, getting him to a point where he's shown everybody and proved to everybody I can stand on my own as a singles competitor. And maybe that sets him up for later opportunities for the U.S. title, or maybe even IC title if that happens.
But I definitely think he goes 2 or 3. I think he gets eliminated second or third.
Yeah. And then Damian Priest is kind of just an odd one because he's a heavy hitter for sure.
When it comes to Damian Priest and the Judgment Day, I think that Damian Priest is one of those guys where he's been performing on top of his game lately, day in and day out, and improving himself.
He's going to be a problem in that chamber, I'm telling you that.
He is. Now. And especially this character now. The Judgment Day. It gets to the point where I can see them start transitioning the Judgment Day into one of those groups like the Bloodline.
Mm-hmm. But not too overpowered.
Yeah. Where it's like, I don't see them winning the United States Championship, but I can see them slowly progressing towards actually giving them solid gold,
right,
and solid belts. Which gives it benefit that Rhea Ripley won the Royal Rumble, so she's going on, and she probably will beat Charlotte
Oh yeah.
for the title at WrestleMania, and I think that's kind of where it'll start.
Yeah. Because
But I don't see him winning.
what's weird is they have Finn that is one of those people that I feel is claiming to be the leader of the group, but in all reality, I'm gonna just put it out there right now. The actual leader of that group is Rhea.
Yeah.
Like, it's just what it is. It's Rhea Ripley. That's
Yep.
the leader. And then looks like
Johnny Gargano, I think it'll come down to Austin Theory, Rollins, and Gargano, Johnny
Yeah.
Wrestling. But
'Cause
I
like I
don't
said-
I don't see Johnny Wrestling beating people the likes of Seth Rollins
Oh, no.
yet. Especially with the way Rollins is at right now. I don't see it.
I kind of want to see Johnny turn heel on main roster. Just go on a complete tear.
I
Because I would
too, but
love to see that.
I think it's still too early.
Yeah. Like,
Eventually, it would be nice.
maybe,
But he's too early.
I want to say if they want to do it as early as they want, I would beat him down, babyface wise. Like, make everybody love him, right? Make people want him to win. And he just can't get it done.
Mm-hmm.
And then he does the old classic, fuck everybody, I don't need your support, I'm doing, that classic heel turn.
Yeah.
And then...
But I really think it comes down to, I think
Yeah.
hopefully Rollins will beat him. I hope they give him a better shot to go to WrestleMania this year compared to just having a guest a surprise entrant come out. But I do think they build Theory's character more and continue to win. But I don't think they necessarily need him to have the title to do that, though.
Right.
So I hope Seth Rollins wins this one, honestly.
And then moving on, it looks like for the match, for the chamber match for the Raw Women's Championship, it will be match.
It's basically the
yeah.
number one contenders match to go to WrestleMania and face Bianca Belair.
Yeah, I totally misread that.
But that's Asuka versus Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, Nikki Cross, Natalya, and Carmella.
I was going to say, I see Natalya being one of the first to get eliminated, honestly.
I really hope so. Honestly, because Natalya is one of those people where she's done it for too long. And they have too much of a story going, trying to beat Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler.
Yeah.
She's just there to be there. I think in the match, she's just one of those match fillers.
Yeah.
So I don't think she doesn't do anything in the match. I think she gets eliminated.
Carmella, I see her Natalya getting eliminated first, and then the other one gets eliminated next.
Nikki Cross won't do anything. I don't see it.
I could see her being like distraction, maybe like being a problem in that area.
Yeah.
Because her persona's, crazy and I'll play with you and all that stuff.
Yeah, she'll be a distraction, but I don't think she does anything either, mainly because even after her character turn from the Nikki ASH stuff,
Thank God
she's
they got
still,
rid of that.
oh my God. But still, even then, I think, even with her character turn, she's still been off camera quite a bit.
Right. Yeah,
So I don't think that she'll do anything either.
yeah.
Especially with Raquel Rodriguez.
Yeah.
In the match, she's one of those strong characters, which I think it's not a bad look, but sometimes I have a problem with Raquel Rodriguez's character because she's just so big. But I'm not saying that to like discredit it by any means, but it's like there's just something that needs to change about it. There's something missing. Is what I feel like. There's something missing from her whole gimmick that could really put it together and keep going, but
Because
it doesn't even seem like she's either a heel or a face at this point.
like
she's just
kind
of
in between. Like she's kind of like the anti-hero character.
Yeah, and she's just kind of there.
Yeah.
And she comes in, she dominates.
Oh yeah.
and then she loses sometimes, and then sometimes she wins. Sometimes she does good. They give her a little bit of a push, and then they don't.
Right.
And then they do it again, and then they don't. And then they do it again, and then they don't.
It's just pretty much whatever they...
They need to... They really need... They need to decide exactly what they are trying to do with her character.
Right. And I mean...
So I don't think they go on to have her face for the women's title.
Right. I could see her kind of playing like a mid-carder in the women's division for a bit, if that makes sense.
Yep.
Because, I mean... Until they find out what to do with her, character-wise, or just a run-wise, or anything-wise.
Yeah, it seems like it's such a
it's
question
just,
on what is she.
Yeah, because, it's somewhat difficult if, there's not an easy go-to, like, oh, let's pair her up with this person, that person. Because,
there's so many different things going on.
She is a tall woman who is a powerhouse. She could definitely be a contender for the championship at some point.
Yeah.
And I would love to see it.
Oh, yeah. I'm not saying that either. I'm saying I would love to see it, but they need to figure out what they're doing with her first before they do it. So I could feel like she could be one of those where they branch off and try to do it versus, who am I trying to think of? The one that just showed up at Royal.
Oh, Nia Jax?
Yeah.
I could see that.
I could see something like that happening, but...
Yeah.
So I really think they don't take away... I think with Liv Morgan, they don't... With the fact that she lasted just as long as Rhea did in the Rumble, I really feel like they give this one to her.
Yeah.
Asuka, I'm not discrediting anything Asuka's done, especially with her character turn now.
Oh, yeah. Her return
is good.
Crazy.
But I don't think they automatically... They do it too many times, but they don't need to automatically give her a shot once her character turn happens. She needs to go out and keep building on momentum and then get it, but not immediately come back and take it.
Like, get her angry.
Yeah.
In a character sense.
Exactly.
Like, make her pissed off that she lost Chamber. Like, make it a statement loss for her.
Yeah.
Like, she returns, she's on fire, she's a menace, she loses that Chamber, and it drives her up a wall.
Yep. And which is where, especially with what I've seen now, and I've looked at it, with Liv Morgan, back when her thing with Liv for Brutality, when Rhea, even before Rhea actually turned, you could see it, that the purple lights were starting to follow her everywhere on the backstage segments. It was in every single one you looked at. The purple lights were following her. I really think it would do a good turn for her character to join the Judgment Day.
Oh, yeah.
Because even now, even when she lost the title, the purple lights started right there. And then the purple lights are always there now in her backstage segments, that I think it would be nice for her character, especially her like edgier, more violent, starting to get really violent character.
Yeah.
I think she follows Rhea and goes to the Judgment Day. And having both of them as number one contenders for the championships, and being those two to start off the Judgment Day's run, and both of them winning the titles, I think that would be a good turn. Because, it's always, even like the Bloodline, it's always like, well, it's always the men being the powerhouse.
Right.
Which is like...
And this could be the one faction to show that women can be, because I know that
the trend starters for a group, for a faction.
Because they had the whole run with the 4 Horsewomen that brought women's wrestling to the forefront of the company. And I'm happy for that. I am. But I think now they should expand it, like you said, over to the faction side of things. Let that kind of set in. Because they had the good idea with the tag team title, I get that. But it just didn't work at the time. But I think if they do it this way...
too many different varieties.
Because it's like, I think if they do it this way, it'll pay off.
And especially when it comes to Bianca Belair as a gimmick.
It's just
on what hers is now.
It's getting over.
Being the EST, calling her the EST of WWE is getting so overworked. It's not even funny anymore. So it's like, oh, here she comes out. She's gonna try and use brute strength again every time. They need to Me personally, and this is just my opinion, when it comes to Bianca Belair with that title, they need to do something else with her character. They need to redo it. Not even redo it. I would like to see her heel turn.
Oh yeah, she would be one badass heel.
She would be a very good heel.
Like let's say she loses the title in a fucking just stupid way, right? And it just flips the switch.
Yep.
I would love to see it.
I definitely, and it's getting to the point where it's like you can't. I mean, you can get those kind of characters and those people where with a John Cena,
right?
That you start him out somewhere, and it almost drops, and with his ruthless aggression, it was so close to being the end of his career there.
Yep.
Had he not done the Doctor of Thugonomics. And then revolutionized his character,
Right.
and then changed it into hustle, loyalty, and respect. And then he rode hustle, loyalty, and respect for years.
Oh, yeah.
And he still does it.
Mm-hmm.
You can get some of those people sometimes where it's like they can ride one gimmick and it just works.
Yep.
But I don't think Bianca Belair and the EST of the WWE
is gonna work.
I don't think it's one of those characters, because it's getting so tiring. Sitting here, I'm the baddest, the strongest, the quickest, the best, and I'm like, just stop, please. And it's not taking away from the fact that she's a good wrestler. Don't get me wrong. She's the way she's able to use her strength and do what she does
My
is
favorite
good.
part is when she whips motherfuckers with that hair. Wow!
Yeah.
Ooh, that sounds like it hurt.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad it ain't me.
But yeah, but it's just like they need to have her do something else, because I don't think she's one of those characters where you can ride her gimmick for years on end, because it's gonna get tiring. And you can't really do it very often anymore. You don't have those kind of John Cena characters where you can continue on doing it for years and it don't matter because they're just that good.
Here's what I would do with her. Turn her heel for a couple years at most. And then when the time is right, build it up to her and then turn her face again. See how that does.
Yep.
Don't make her too much of a face. Just kind of make her like an anti-hero character, just kind of in between. Kind of like Raquel, and just keep her in there, see what the fans are doing with it, and if they fucking accept it, fucking hammer that motherfucker in.
That's why I feel like they really need to give Liv Morgan a chance.
Oh, yeah.
Especially because that title run, they screwed her out of it so bad. They made her look so bad with the fact that she got cheap wins against Ronda Rousey.
Yeah.
I mean, but her cashing in and actually winning was a good thing, but the matches after that were just... They did good when she actually defended against Shayna Baszler and actually learned and improved and defeated her all by herself. I get that. But the way she lost was just... They screwed her out of it.
I was supposed to say, because didn't she lose to Ronda?
Yeah.
Yep.
Ronda Rousey came back and she beat her.
Yep. And it's just I get Ronda had a pop when she first arrived. I was there. I fucking loved it. I lost my mind. But it's
it's getting old.
Now, if you're going to pull pretty much what they would do with Brock Lesnar back in the day, they don't really do it with him. I mean, they did, and then Vince left, and here we are. We got babyface Brock Lesnar, which is fucking amazing. I love it. But if you're going to sit here and tell me Liv Morgan, someone who the fans were backing the entire fucking way up until the point she won the championship and was probably selling a shit ton of merch while doing it, so that's money in your pocket and his pocket and whoever's pocket, and you got a champion that everybody loves, so that brings in more viewers, you're going to piss them off by going, oh yeah, Ronda Rousey, go take the title. You're pretty much your first night fucking back, you're going to let Ronda fucking walk in and be like, oh yeah, I'm the baddest woman on the planet. Go ask Holly Holm who the baddest woman on the planet is.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, go give her a WWE contract so I can see Ronda get beat for the fucking title, because I'm sick of it.
Oh yeah.
That's how sick
her
of it
stuff's
I am.
getting her. And it's not that she's not a bad talent because
She's
she's
not.
got
She could draw
talent.
views like
She's
no
got
other,
talent, but the way she works with different wrestlers is just god awful.
It's like you're treating
Especially-
her special.
Yeah,
fucking
and
hate
especially
that shit.
even her matches, even against Liv Morgan in her matches and the way she defended and beat her, it was a bad match.
Mm-hmm.
Just all around, it was just a terrible, terrible match.
Well, it's just like the fans.
It was so
all-
confusing. They botched a lot of moves because
yeah.
she just can't wrestle.
that, and it's just like
It's a different thing when it comes to... Some people can transition from UFC to pro wrestling. I get it.
right.
But it doesn't seem like anymore that she's one of those people. She
Right.
tries too hard to use her UFC moves in the ring, and it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
Because even with her
Flair
matches
was
against
like-
Charlotte Flair, I mean, they
Oh,
sometimes
yeah.
they botch it. So she just botches it so bad sometimes, and it's like, stop.
Then it's like if they would have kept going, and let's say Raw Underground. Let me take you back to that. If that would have taken off, I could have seen Ronda going into that. And
Yeah.
like just laying it.
Oh
fucking
yeah,
down.
oh yeah. I could have seen that,
But
it,
without that, it's kind of like if we don't come out with like have a woman's fight pit for God's sake.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
if you want to incorporate MMA, have Ronda Rousey defend her title under the stipulation it's in a fight pit.
oh yeah, I
Like
think
don't do
that,
it every time, but
No.
like if it's built up like a monumentous fight between like Ronda and Charlotte Flair, put them in a fight pit. Do it.
Oh yeah.
First ever women's fight. Let's do it.
hmm
I'd watch that.
Oh yeah, certainly. But it's just like they need to give Liv Morgan a better shot.
Yeah.
And her being as like starting to get pretty violent as what she's been doing,
Oh yeah.
joining Judgment Day and winning the title
Yeah.
would do so much for her that it's unreal. Because she deserves a very good title shot.
Oh yeah, and a good decent run. I mean,
No,
fuck it.
and-
See what
and
she
not-
does with it.
And not
Right.
screw it like you
Right,
did.
like have her lose it to someone who's on the active roster and not just returning out of nowhere.
And have it be a good match. Because
Right.
she's had some good matches with people.
Like,
I mean, she...
build that shit up.
Oh, yeah.
And then if she loses, hey, I'm not gonna be mad. You
No.
built it up just perfect. She
Oh,
had
yeah.
a good run. Fuck it.
Yeah, definitely.
But if they're gonna sit here and keep feeding the title
yeah.
to Ronda, it's like, oh my. It's like
And
when
it's-
Miz said, how many moments do you two get?
And even even Charlotte Flair, like, it's getting to be that, too. Like, her...
Right, like she returned to
different-
beat Ronda.
Her different mood now is I can get behind it a little bit, but it's
Right.
still like she returned after being gone for months, wasn't
I
it?
think it was like a year, actually. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I'd have
pretty.
to-
Yeah, it was a
I'd
year.
have to
It
look
was
into
a,
that, but yeah, I think
was
it was
a
like
year.
a year.
She comes back after being gone for a year just to take the title off of Ronda the first night she's back.
I mean, I was laughing. I
Oh
enjoyed
yeah,
it.
it was
I
great
happy
because
for
she
her.
finally got rid of the title from Ronda because it was bad.
now it's like,
but
now
it's
I
like
sound like a hypocrite.
you take you take
It's
two
like,
wrongs and you look at it. You're basically trying to choose the lesser of two evils. But I don't like either one either way.
It's like, okay, we got Ronda returning,
Yeah.
beating our girl Liv. Don't like that. We got,
Charlotte Flair
coming
returning
back,
after being gone
laying
and
the fucking smackdowneth on fucking Ronda
and
taking
winning the title after being gone for a year. As soon as she comes back, we're just like,
And it's like, I mean, I'm happy that Ronda's not holding the title,
but I'm
what
also
the
not.
fuck?
But I'm also not happy that Charlotte Flair's now got it either.
Just like, what the fuck are we doing? We're cheering for Charlotte Flair for doing the same fucking thing Ronda did, and we're over here going, yay! But I think it comes down to this. I think Triple
It's the lesser.
H,
It's the lesser of two
yeah,
evils.
I think Triple H realized where Vince might have fucked up on the drawing board. Ronda, bad. No, you make her fucking work for that title. Charlotte, yeah, just drop that bitch in and fucking let her go for it and win.
Yeah, because she can do so much with it too.
Yeah, because she can.
And that's
make
the thing
cl-
where it's the lesser of two evils.
Right.
If you force the title on Ronda and keep having bad matches like that, it's gonna get bad. The consequences of something like that are atrocious. But Charlotte Flair is just... I hate to admit this because I for some reason I can never get behind Charlotte Flair because of how many title shots she gets. Just because of her name, she just does it better.
Yeah.
She's put on unbelievable matches against people, like especially against like the feud she had with Sasha Banks.
Oh my god.
That was one of the greatest runs in the women's division that you could ever possibly imagine.
And quite honestly, just real quick, I didn't mean to call Charlotte Flair a bitch. It just slipped. And also, Sasha, hope you're doing well over at New Japan Pro Wrestling. Hope you go kick some ass and win some titles.
Yes.
And hopefully eventually come back because I need some boss time on my TV again. I need to see you come back and lay the smackdown on some motherfuckers.
But it's like that kind of feud was so good. And especially putting them in a... Wasn't that the first Hell in a Cell match for women? I think it was.
I think it was... I know Sasha was a part of it.
I'm pretty sure it was Charlotte... If I'm not mistaken, it was Charlotte Flair versus Sasha Banks. And that was one hell of a match.
It was either that or it was a different type of... I'm a first women's Hell in a Cell match. It was between Sasha Banks, and she defended the Raw Women's Championship against Charlotte.
Yep.
So, yep.
Yep. And she's just capable of pulling out the stops and pulling it, making it such a great match, as much as I hate to admit it, but she just is capable of doing something like that far, far better than Ronda is.
Right.
Like,
if they ever make a mid-card title for the women's division, give it to Ronda. I don't care what you do with it. just give it to her. If you're going to give any title to her, just give her the mid-card title. Let her hold that fucker for 2 million
Make a
days.
Women's Intercontinental Championship and just hand it to her.
Right,
Like, there you go.
Just hand it to her. Keep her away from the main title unless she's actually putting in work for it.
And once she starts putting on good matches, then yes, maybe I can see it. But until she does that, I don't.
And I'm not saying she's not out there training. I mean, she's training, but it's
just the way. It's just the way she.
Persona-wise, give me something to chew on with Ronda.
Especially rowdy Ronda Rousey. It just kind of. It's getting bad. It just is.
Give me a switch.
Her heel brutality right now with Shayna Baszler.
It's getting annoying.
It's okay.
I need Shayna to flip the switch on Ronda is what I need to see. I want to see that
I could see a feud going between the both of them.
Ooh, maybe that's how they're going to do the first ever women's fight pit. I'd watch that. I would watch that. Oh, yeah.
That I can see.
Both, what was it? Ronda's a black belt.
Ronda's a black belt in jiu-jitsu, and Shayna Baszler is a black belt in Brazilian.
Are they both black belts in jiu-jitsu?
No, it's Brazilian. I'm trying to think of it.
Shayna.
Brazilian. Brazilian Thai fighting? No.
Black belt. I'm trying to find it.
Sorry, Bernie. Cue the Jeopardy music.
I guess it is Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu as well.
Oh, is it?
Yep. Okay. So, I mean, I'd fucking watch it.
Fight pit between the two of them, okay. Mm-hmm. That I can see. But it's just just make her stop using so many UFC moves in the ring. They just don't correlate. Some her armbar, I can get behind that.
Yeah.
But her constantly throwing somebody into the corner and using her punches against them, and trying to use her jiu-jitsu moves against somebody, how are you supposed to sell something like that?
It's stale.
It's not like something like the spear where if you use it, if you sell it perfect, it's a good-looking move. Trying to judo flip somebody like she does.
That's hard to sell.
It really is. You're capable of literally tossing somebody.
You're
But
going from... This is going to look weird. And you probably won't be able to see me, but you're literally going from something like this into this when you hit the mat. That is going to be difficult as shit, especially when you're going... Phoom.
yeah. It's just to the point where it's like...
It's like someone else
Stop
trainer,
using jujitsu moves and your UFC moves in the wrestling ring. It just doesn't work.
It's like if I were the one running shit, I'd be like, Rhonda, we'll call you when we got the first woman's fight pit. We'll build it up. Other than that, just go sit in the locker room.
Yeah.
But all right, moving on from that. From what I just saw on Facebook, ladies and gentlemen, we could be walking into the Montreal Screwjob version 2, featuring Roman Reigns and Sami motherfucking Zayn. Woo!
Okay.
But the weird thing is, how? But I do mean there is the bloodline that will play a part in it,
And I
obviously.
think, as far as I heard, both the Usos are capable. They got the pass to go to Montreal this year.
Yeah.
With Jimmy, I think originally couldn't because of his DUIs.
Oh, we bringing up that. We get.
He wasn't in Montreal. He wasn't in Montreal last year when they had he wasn't in Montreal last year when they had a match when they had a pay-per-view there. Just like, why do you think he wasn't on? Why do you think he wasn't on SmackDown
Hey,
last?
I'm not digging at you. I'm just.
Why do you think he would? Why do you think he wasn't on SmackDown on Friday?
Hey, I was just saying.
He's not there because.
I'm not digging at you, bro. I'm just saying.
I know.
I was making a left turn. You were just. I'm going right. And that's it.
We skirting.
If he beats my ass, oh well.
But still, it's like I heard that I think they both.
Fuck, if we're talking DUIs, let's talk about Jeff Hardy.
No. But I think they can. But I think they can both go. At the very least, I can see. I don't really know why they would have Jay turn against Sami.
No, here's what you do. Here's what happens. Roman gets angry. He's getting his ass beat. Solo walks up, bam, right up against Sami. Sami gets put in a submission. We all know how it goes. Sami's not tapping. He's sitting there taking it like a champ. Roman's like, oh, and then someone does something with the ref. The ref goes, hey, he's tapping, and ding, 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 and we're all sitting here like, motherfucker, someone just beat his ass.
Yep.
And then they jump Sami again because it's in front of his hometown, and Roman
It'll
wants to make an example.
it'll happen.
And then Kevin Owens comes out. Maybe
They're gonna
I don't
try
know.
and piss off Montreal as
there
much as humanly possible.
There might be a riot.
They're gonna try and piss off Montreal with Sami Zayn as much as humanly possible.
His family's gonna be in attendance. Oh.
They're gonna try and piss off Montreal as much as humanly possible.
Talk about the fucking heat the bloodline would go. We talking major heel status.
If you were trying to get them to be the most hated and heel faction ever, that's exactly how you do it.
You hire the ref. That's what you do. You rig it like an NFL game. That's what you do.
And if you've made it this far, I want to see the comment Montreal Screwjob version 2. If you've made it this far, I want to see it in the comments to see proof that you've gone this far. But when it comes to that match, Roman comes out with it, of course, because you can't with the run that he's had, you don't just have him lose.
No. I mean,
at Elimination
anyway. I mean, it could go either way.
But it would be the dumbest thing.
Winning.
It would be the dumbest thing to do to have his title reign just at Elimination Chamber. Whatever.
Yeah. As much as I love Sami,
at the moment where we're getting so close to WrestleMania, you don't do that.
As much as I fucking want Sammy to win, and I cannot stress that enough. I want this man to win. I need to see him hold gold, main championship gold.
Especially with how much of a
roster.
pop he gets now.
But
It's going to be...
Roman's winning.
It's going to be...
Just
He's going to win.
screw job or not, Roman's winning.
Oh, yeah.
And that's that. That's the bottom line. And it ain't because Stone Cold said so. It's because it's just
because
the fucking
it's
facts.
because it's the head of the table. He's the tribal chief. You acknowledge him.
So Roman, we acknowledge you, but we ain't rooting.
I'm not...
We ain't rooting for you, Roman, but we acknowledge you. We see you, my boy, and we want Sammy to win. But we ain't gonna.
I want to see Sami Zayn win for the sense of the storyline. It's been so good.
Why does WrestleMania have to be now? Damn it!
That would be great.
Can we just push it back a couple months? We can wait. I'd
I'd love to see this storyline right out. It wouldn't be bad.
Shit, I need to see it. Unlike the fans won't care because if Sammy loses, we'll be bad. Whatever. WrestleMania hits. We know Cody's winning. Let's just face it.
They're gonna split
Cody's
the.
gonna win.
They're gonna split the titles up.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna happen.
We don't know how, but
He will face both titles since they've been doing it now with the tag team titles, trying to split them up,
Yep.
having tournaments for one and having tournament for the other. It's gonna happen. When the bloodline fails, none of them will have titles except for Jey Uso. I can see it.
main event Jay all the way.
None of them will have titles except for Jey. I do feel like when the bloodline ends, it will be Jey Uso holding one of the two titles above him.
Yeah.
Main event Jey will finally right the wrong that happened when the bloodline started.
Here's how
Is saying I quit. If it ends when they have an I quit match for one of the titles at WrestleMania and he finally gets Roman to say I quit and lose one of the titles, that would be the best ending you could ever imagine.
Put careers on the line. Or is that pushing it? I don't know. I'm just thirsty for a career versus career match. I need it.
Yeah.
I haven't seen one in a while. Plus, there's already rumors going around Roman's going to retire.
He's going to go part-time.
Yeah.
Like he already is. But the way you end the bloodline story and end it with a pop.
Yep.
You end it the best way you possibly can. And they can go different routes with it, and it'll be great. With Triple H heading the career, heading this, he can do so well. But you end it the way it started. I think I would love to see main event Jey versus Roman Reigns the first night. I could see the first night, but I would love the second night. You put Jey Uso against Roman in an I Quit match for one of the two titles.
I think it would end up being the Universal because I know Cody, he's going to take that WWE Championship.
Cody's going to take the WWE Championship, and it has to be the Universal title. Yep. The one that started it. Mm-hmm. He takes down the bloodline. He takes down the head of the table for the Universal title in an I Quit match at WrestleMania. That is ideally the match that I would love to see end the bloodline.
You know it'd be cool? Have The Rock be the special guest referee. Just for shits and giggles.
That's what you throw in there just to...
Yeah, just to get a pop. You know, just to fucking...
Yeah.
Because we all know The Rock, he'd keep it fair.
Yeah, he would. But that's our official predictions.
And opinions and...
thoughts.
WWE?
Yeah.
For now.
Until WrestleMania hits.
Yeah.
But that's going to end it now. Do you have anything else you'd like to add at the end of this?
No, I do not. Much love to everybody.
All right.
That was a little weird.
Love and peace, I guess.
Peace and harmony.
That's enough. So we're going to end it here. And we will, Friday, we'll talk about what happened. see what happens. We'll talk about what happened, the results, and what's going on next. Other than that, you will still see videos every Friday. We will get them out somehow, whichever way it is. Subscribe if you're not subscribed already. That would be greatly appreciated. Because
let's get this video to 10 likes.
There you go. Because hopefully starting soon, or eventually, we're going to start doing a wide variety of content on this.
Oh, yeah.
Whether it's videos from him, videos from me, but every Friday we're going to be doing this. Because the official D&N Show will be every Friday or Saturday morning, depending on when this comes out.
Depending on your times.
Depending on that, too. But other than that, pretty soon we'll start getting a wide variety, and this channel hopefully this channel gets huge. That's what we're building for.
We're trying to build community out here.
A great group and a great channel. But
we're going to quit talking.
we're going to quit talking now. We're going to end this video here. So without further annoying you, we will see y'all in the next video. Deuces.
Deuces.